Hey there, what do you do for a living? This is the main question that defines your identity in today's society. Work is often seen as the cornerstone of our self-worth and productivity. But what if we could redefine work to focus on passion and fulfillment instead? In this video, we will explore the cultural expectations of work and ask ourselves, will we ever stop working? And do we really want to stop working for good? The question, what do you do for a living, carries significant weight. It reflects societal expectations where productivity and identity are tied. For many, their job becomes a measure of self-worth rooted in the idea that to be busy is to be valuable. But is our work really who we are? And if not, how can we change that perception? With technological advances and shifting cultural values, the definition of work is evolving. More people are turning hobbies into viable careers, finding joy and fulfillment in their daily tasks. Imagine a world where work is not just a necessity, but a choice aligned with personal passions. Could this shift help us redefine work and move towards a world where traditional jobs are no longer the norm? And most importantly, towards a world where work doesn't feel like work anymore. Picture this, it's the 19th century and the world is buzzing with the energy of the Industrial Revolution. The factories are alive, but they are not exactly the kind of places you'd want to hang out in. Back then, it wasn't unusual for workers to clock in 12 to 16-hour shifts. And we are not just talking about adults. Kids as young as 5 were also putting in hours. It's hard to imagine now, but that was the reality. Long days in poor lit factories, all in the name of progress. But these harsh conditions set the stage for change. Workers began to realize they deserved better. They wanted more than just survival. They wanted a life outside of work. As society pushed the boundaries of productivity, it also began to push back against the norms of labor. It was the beginning of something big. Fast forward a bit and we are in the center of labor movements that would reshape the landscape of work forever. Let's dive into the story of the Pullman strike in 1894. In Pullman, workers lived in a company town, rented homes from their employer, and watched their wages shrink while rent stayed the same. Tensions were high, and when layoffs hit, it was the last straw. The workers walked out, sparking a nationwide railway boycott. This wasn't just about Pullman. It was a wake-up call. The strike's outcome wasn't ideal for the workers, but it put the spotlight on workers' rights and conditions, leading to reforms. Events like this were catalysts for change, pushing for the 8-hour workday and leading to key legislations like the Factory Act of 1833, which began improving working conditions and limiting hours. The fight was far from over, but these movements laid the groundwork for a future where work wasn't just about sweat and tears, but about balance and rights. So let's talk about Workday. We've come a long way since the Industrial Revolution, but modern work isn't exactly stress-free. According to the latest stats, more than half of the global workforce experiences significant workplace stress, which isn't just a number. It's millions of people dealing with the mental health impacts of their jobs. And here is the thing. While we are all hustling to get ahead, job satisfaction is often ignored. A lot of this boils down to the search for meaningful work. We spend so much of our lives working that it's only natural to crave purpose. But many workers feel like their jobs lack this essential element. When work feels purposeless, it's not just an existential crisis. It affects productivity, creativity, and overall happiness. One thing we can start doing is working less hours. Enter the 4-day workweek. It sounds almost too good to be true, right? But it's not just a fantasy. Real companies are making it happen. Take Microsoft Japan, for instance. When they switched to a 4-day workweek, productivity shot up by an incredible 40%. Employees were happier, stress level dropped, and the company's bottom line didn't suffer. And it's not just an isolated case. In Iceland, a nationwide trial of the 4-day workweek showed similar results, no drop in productivity and significant boost in worker well-being. The trial was so successful that now about 86% of Iceland's workforce has the option of working fewer hours for the same pay. These experiments show us that it's possible to maintain or even improve productivity while giving people more time to rest, recharge, and live their lives outside of work. It's about trusting employees to manage their time and deliver results rather than just measuring the hours they clocked in. That's how a world where we could all work smarter, not harder, should look like. Where we spend less time stressing about deadlines and more time doing the things we love. Reducing work hours is nice, but this is also about redefining what work means and creating a system that values human well-being just as much as productivity. Okay, now let's talk about purpose. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of busy work. Tasks that fill up our days but don't fill up our souls. Mostly useless work that doesn't really make much of a difference. We are often caught up in the race to be productive without questioning if what we are doing actually matters. We are doing busy work when we don't find any meaning in our job. But how can we redefine work to align with our values and passions? Here is where the concept of ikigai comes in, a Japanese idea that translates to reason for being. Here is a diagram with 4 overlapping circles, where each segment represents something that will help you define your purpose. What you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Right at the center is your ikigai. It's about finding that sweet spot where your passions and talents meet the needs of the world. For example, here is mine. I love thinking about and discussing ways to improve the world we currently live in. I hope I am good at presenting these concepts in an easy to understand way. The world needs more visibility on these subjects so they can get embraced by more and more people that think alike. In the future, hopefully, I can get paid by content I create and the visibility I get on these platforms. Trust me, finding your ikigai isn't just a feel-good exercise. It has real implications for your well-being and satisfaction. Studies have shown that people who pursue work aligned with their core values experience higher levels of happiness and fulfillment. According to a report by the American Psychological Association, employees who feel their work is meaningful are more engaged and productive. But how do we get there? Start by asking yourself some simple questions. What activities make you lose track of time? What problems do you care about solving? By identifying your core values and passions, you can begin to chart a path towards more meaningful work. It might mean a career change or simply reframing how you view your current job. Remember, work shouldn't be just about clocking in hours. It should be about contributing to something bigger than yourself. And when you find that purpose, work doesn't feel like work anymore. Although you should enjoy your work, one main factor you should be keeping is stress. And most importantly, learn how to make an ally out of it. Healthy stress can be a powerful motivator, pushing you to innovate and grow. It's the kind of stress that gets your heart racing before a big presentation. The key is balance. Chronic stress is harmful, but manageable stress can boost creativity and productivity. To maintain this balance, consider techniques like mindfulness and time management. Mindfulness helps us stay present and reduce anxiety, while effective time management ensures we don't overcommit and can prioritize what truly matters. Embrace stress as a catalyst for change. When managed well, it can push us towards new ideas and personal growth. Finally, let's imagine a future where work isn't just about survival, but improvement. Thanks to technological advancements like automation and AI, we are on the brink of a significant shift in how we approach work. These tools have the potential to free us from mundane, repetitive tasks and allowing us to focus on more creative and meaningful work. Instead of spending hours on data entry, you could focus on designing, innovating, and solving complex problems. Automation and AI can handle the grunt work, leaving us with more time and energy to pursue our passions. This shift could redefine work from something we have to do to something we actually want to do. And because all this technology can also have a negative impact on the job market, there is universal basic income that can provide us with a safety net, but also allows taking risks and pursuing passions without the constant worry of making ends meet. UBI could be the key to unlocking a future where work is about improvement, not just survival. By providing a basic income, we can create a society where people have the freedom to explore, innovate, and contribute in ways to align with their passions. I have created a full video about universal basic income, so if you want to understand it better, go watch it. So, is a world without work possible? Probably not in the way you imagined before clicking on this video. Work in some form will likely always be part of our lives, but what's exciting is that it doesn't have to be something we hate. Instead of feeling nauseous when we hear the word work, we can redefine it to mean something that excites us and drives us forward. Imagine a future where work is no longer a grind, but a way to improve ourselves and the society. A future where our jobs align with our passions and contribute to the greater good. It's about shifting the narrative from work as a necessity to work as an opportunity. So challenge the status quo. Dream big and build a world where work inspires and fulfills you. Because in the end, you shouldn't be escaping work entirely. You should find work that matters.